Welcome back to Devil May Cry, everybody. We're doing Mission 2 now, after the slight success of Mission 1, I guess, maybe. I died once. That's not the best, but it's not the worst either. I made it through. So here's the shop that I was telling you about earlier, last episode, I guess, where we can buy things. I've chosen... I don't think there's anything really worth buying here at the moment. I only have 178 red orbs, not gems. So we're just going to continue on with our mission, and oh no! There are guys. Why would they show up? They weren't here earlier. It's at this point in the playthrough where I recognize that this is basically just Zelda. We're not gaining anything, really, from beating up the dudes. So we might as well just not beat up the dudes. No, we need another rusty key. Remember when games did this? Remember when games were like, hey, every single key item you need is the same name? That was fun times. So that looks like a sword we could use. I think we should take that sword, if we can. Are you gonna let us take that? I am Alistair. The weak shall give their heart and swear their eternal loyalty to me. Okay. Do I get the sword? Do I get the sword? We get the sword. Oh, and we're stabbed through the chest again. That's twice in 2 episodes we've been stabbed through the chest with a sword. And maybe just died? No, we're okay. Look at that blood, though. You can tell this game is rated M because it has all of that blood. When you boot up the game, it actually has a warning. It's like, this game has intense violence. And yeah, I guess. It looks kind of cartoonish nowadays, but back then that certainly would have been... It'd be pretty intense, I guess. But yeah, so we're fine. We're not even bleeding. We healed pretty quickly. We now have the sword. The better sword. The lightning sword. Which I always thought of Dante as this, like, fire dude, but that was prior to having played the games, so I guess he's actually more of a lightning guy, or maybe we get a different sword later. I thought he had magical powers, to be perfectly honest with you, but I guess he's just a guy with a sword and guns. That's not how physics works, guys. That's twice now that physics have just gone out the window. Possessor lightning, speed, and capability. Okay, so now we have that. We've got a bar we can use that I'll hopefully not forget about. And it gives us superpowers for a little bit, I guess. The Grim Reaper like devil. Ooh. There's a key. Probably the rusty key we need. But I'm going to keep exploring for a second first. Because, no, why not? Ooh, that looks shiny though. Looks like a shiny thing. What are we getting? We've got a shotgun too. So now we have a lightning sword and a shotgun. And I'm thinking that we can probably take this key now. It's probably going to be okay. Even if it spawns enemies, which we all know it will. That's how all of these games work. See a room on the other side, so can we not climb through there? It looks like there's enough space. Like if we do a jump, I think we could make it. But fine. Fine. Still enemies, we're just gonna ignore them because we now have our key and we can use our rusty key, go through the door, and everything's okay. More enemies. Hopefully I won't die here. I've been thinking, I'm trying to think of a game I've played that was similar to this one, and the only one that I could come up with was the Van Helsing tie-in for the movie. It had a game, it was basically, I think at the time it was even called a Devil May Cry knockoff, and I was bad at that game too. I believe I beat it. I have it in my records that I beat it, although I'll be honest with you, I can't really remember much, if anything, about it. But yeah, it was basically just this game. You had dual pistols, just like this game. Instead of a blade, you had those, or at least a sword, you had those two spinning blades, I think is what you started with, and then you got other sorts of weapons as the game went on. You got that crossbow, that was fun. I think you also got a shotgun in that game. I think that was like the first power-up you got. So yeah, that was basically just this. And I did beat it as a child. I was probably 12, 13 when I finally beat that game. So it's not like I don't have any experience playing these, but it's a very minor experience, and even then I was not good at that game. I know I had a friend come over and play it, and he did way better than I did in a much shorter period of time, and it made me kind of sad that I was just way worse at my own game than he was at that game. So at this point we don't really have a clear objective because I'm dumb and don't know where I'm going. I presume we want to go through the magical door, but we need to do something about it because it looks like it's pretty sealed, and we're going to find out in a second. Yeah, it's pretty sealed. There's an immense power that will not allow one to get any closer. Before I can confront the lion, I'll need a sign. Doesn't say what that sign is. It's not very helpful, but figure it out, maybe. Forewarning, I get lost in this episode, like legitimately lost. There's like 4 rooms to go in, and I'm too dumb to actually figure out what I'm doing. So, be ready for that. We got more enemies to deal with here. It's another hallway. There's a lot of hallways in this game so far, which is a little annoying, but I guess it works better for the fixed camera. But like, yeah. Yeah, I died. I died to just normal dudes. Let's not make it a big thing. It's fine. But yeah, like I was saying, the hallways actually I think work better for the fixed camera than like these big open areas, because at least you kind of get an idea of where all of these enemies have to be, as opposed to they could be spawning from somewhere you have no clue and they just decide to murder you. I'm sure right now someone in the comments is probably pretty mad that I haven't equipped that shotgun yet. I kind of forgot. So not only did I forget about it, I also was under the misconception that all of your non-pistol guns had ammo. And I probably should have checked before I actually, believed that, but that was what I thought. So I was like, okay, I'll save the shotgun for enemies that are more deadly. And it turns out that the shotgun does not have ammo, just like the pistol. It just reloads slower, and you can't fire as fast. So I should have been using the shotgun there. It does a lot more damage, especially close up, but I didn't. So I apologize. I probably could have prevented that death, honestly. That death did not need to happen, but it did. And I used another yellow orb, and we're gonna run out of those soon, which is really too bad because I wish there were more. I don't like having to. So when you lose all your yellow orbs, I know this because I've done it. You have to go back to a save point, and that is basically the start of the chapter. So you have to play the whole chapter again, and you don't get any more yellow orbs. As such, it makes it a lot more difficult. So we're trying to escape that door, or through the door, and the Reaper decides to come out through the painting. I always thought of these people as witches. That's what they showed up to me as, but I guess they're Reapers, maybe? They're Medusa-y. They're green. and they're difficult if you're not prepared. They don't have a scythe, they have scissors. Giant, like, hedge clippers. And this is the first time I've ever dealt with them, and I don't know what their attacks are at this point. And I still haven't equipped the shotgun. And I know that's going to make some of you pretty mad. And it makes me mad in hindsight, because the shotgun would have been very helpful. And so they can just clip through walls and avoid my attacks and then murder me with their death scissors. They are not fun, and there are 3 of them, and I was not prepared for this. Nothing prepares you for the enemies in this game until you actually get to the enemies in the game, at which point you have to basically just learn what their attacks are and hope that you don't die before they kill you. And then you get another enemy, and then they probably kill you, and then you get sad. That is how my experience in Devil May Cry has been so far. So yes, I just died to these witches, to these reapers. I killed 1 out of 3. That is not great. In fact, I would say that is very bad. But it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'd never faced them before. So luckily, because we had yellow orbs, it put us back here, and we can go face them again. I still haven't equipped the shotgun. I am still dumb. And let's see how that plays out. I'm going to spoil it now. It doesn't play out well. They are still better than I am. The pistols are just not strong enough, it turns out. And they don't have knockback. I think that's the thing with the shotgun, is that when you hit them, they actually get knocked back. They're just melee foes. So I guess witches is probably the wrong term for them, because witches usually use magic. These guys are just kind of floating there. But they look like they have hats. I guess it's just the robe, but still. So I was thinking I can just murder them with pistols and dodge, and you probably can. I'm sure someone who's good at this game could do it. But like that slice right there probably would have been avoided with a shotgun, because they would have been knocked back, as opposed to what's happening now, where they are just kind of tanking, their damage boosting through my shots and just coming after me. And I'm not good enough at dodging to stop them. Plus, it's not really fair. They can clip through walls. I can't clip through walls. It's a little unfair, but that's just this game. And they can just come from off screen and murder you. That death wasn't from off screen, but the damage from before it was. Anyway, so there's all of my yellow orbs are now gone. I have no yellow orbs. If I die here, I have to restart at the start of the chapter, which, to be fair, isn't exactly far. These missions aren't long, at least from the ones that I've done so far. They're like, if you're good at this game, you can probably beat each mission in like 10 minutes. But I'm not good at this game. I did finally figure out that maybe we should use that new weapon that we got, because that's typically how games work. They give you a new thing and they expect you to use it. At least that's how Zelda works. Zelda gives you a slingshot and you gotta use the slingshot next. Or it gives you the hookshot, and the next temple will require you to use the hookshot a lot. This game just gave me a shotgun in this very room, I might add. That should have been the first hint. And I finally decided to use it. And hey, look at that knockback. It's really helpful. This is a good weapon. I should have used this from the start. But you live and learn, and that is why, I mean, I'll take that, I guess. The game didn't have to tell me. It's not like the Uncharted games where it gave you a hint. It's like, hey, dummy, maybe you should use the shotgun. I figured it out eventually. It took me a while, but I figured it out. And yeah, we killed 1 without even taking damage. Now we've killed 2 without even taking damage. And that's basically just from shotgunning them to death. Now with only 1 left, that should be pretty easy. And lo and behold, it was pretty easy. So, my apologies for making you sit through 2 deaths just because I couldn't figure out that you should shotgun the Reapers. But I did it. I still figured it out. I didn't give up. And I don't know what these bugs are all here for, but we're gonna murder them all. Because they give us red orbs. I think that's kind of creepy, actually, but... And... So I got a gem, and I thought that that gem would be how I unlock this door. So, I come back here, and I'm like, hey, let's murder some dudes, and then use the gem on the door. And it turns out that that isn't the case, and I just walked by the thing that you actually put the gem in. So commenters, I understand your frustration. I get it. I'm dumb. But to be fair, I took a thing from there. You don't often have to replace a thing from there. If that makes sense. You usually just take a thing and you leave. So that's something. Good on this game for, I don't know, making me have to figure that out. But this mission shouldn't be much longer, but I'm not smart, and therefore it will be. Because I have to wander around and kill dudes, and... Oops. I did a goof. But that's okay. It's more experience too. I mean, this combat isn't the most difficult, and basically at this point I'm just shotgunning people to death. But, it's still learning. It's still giving me more experience in the combat, which will hopefully help me out for later. Because, I mean, the more you do something, the better you're going to get at it, typically. So, I'll take the experience. I'll learn. And maybe it'll even help me in the puzzle-solving element later on. Since I don't want to get lost again. It kind of sucks to just wander around and not know what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah. We need a sign. We need to confront... I want to confront the lion. Let me confront the lion. To have a staff, I'm like, okay, where can I put the staff? Can I use the staff here? Can I equip it? No, I cannot. So where can I put it? Where can I equip it? What can I use it in front of? Can I use it in front of this door? No, I cannot. Can I give it to this person or this statue? No. No, you can't. So what do? I don't know. I'm dumb. Can I use it on this one? No. Can I use it on this one? No. And this is going to continue for a little bit. I would have sped it up, but I am lazy. Lazy and dumb. So I'm not going to. I'm just going to keep talking. Not really talking about anything. Which is basically what my commentary style is. Let's be honest. I'm not the best at solo commentary. I'm basically just talking about the game. I'm not saying anything of importance, of innovation. Games aren't my medium of choice, honestly. And solo Let's Plays are hard, it turns out. Like, I did the Mario Super Slugger, or not Mario Super Sluggers, that's the Wii game. The Mario Superstars Baseball one. That one wasn't that bad, because it was like an hour of gameplay. This is a much longer game, a much bigger challenge for me as a Let's Player. And also, oh no, these Reapers are here now. I don't want to face them again. And they kind of just spawn in the wall there, it looks like. I don't think we have to even face it here. Because it... No, there it is. There's some guys. They're not the Reapers, though. Oh, and I fell off. I don't like the mechanics of this game. I think it's clunky. I think it's outdated. I'm hoping if I ever wind up playing the sequels, which I do plan to do at some point, that the controls are better, that it handles better. I mean, I hope eventually it doesn't have the fixed camera either, but if it has to do that, then I hope at least, like, you get better dodge mechanics. That's basically what I want. So now I thought that I have to press the thing here, the staff, but it doesn't go there. And there are dudes. And I was like, hey, that looks like a hand that maybe you can put something in. Can I put something in that hand? The answer, I believe, is no. Just like it always is. We'll figure it out. Still a dude. He dead. So yeah, can we put it there? Something written, God's hands before thee to open the path. Yeah, we know. We did that already. I did that game. So is the thing down here? Do I want to put it down here? Do I put it in this thing? No, it turns out that's not it either. What about in here? There's nothing in here. And then it dawns on me, hey, maybe we put the staff in this thing. I apologize. That is just bad gameplay. That is Game Grumps style gameplay. But with only one commentator, and the commentary's not as good. But you know what? I will take any comparison to Game Grumps that I can get. And hopefully, you will stick around, and I'll see you next time.